Unseen It. Unseen Radio. You're listening to Bedge Music Review Corner on Unseen Radio.
Hello everybody, you're listening to the Review Corner here on Unseen Radio. Thanks for joining us. I hope that we make the next half hour a show full of opinions and discussion and all sorts of musical goodness and madness. We've got 4 guests in today, one more than usual, but you know, even better, to discuss 3 tracks all by artists from this lovely shire of Northampton. Let's kick off with the first one. Regular listeners to the show will be no strangers to them because they are strangers, and this is their free new track, London Lights.
Drink it in, spit it out. Tonight's what it's all about. This could be heaven, this could be hell. Think of the stories we will tell. Breathe it in, let it go. Somehow I gotta let you know. I've been places, I've had times. With you here now, it's on the line. It's all on the line. People say the city's got no soul. Breathe it in, let it go. We're free to find out on our own. And I've been places, I've had times. But with you here now, it's on the line. It's all on the line. We come alive when we're dreaming. Tonight the world's got us screaming. We're in love. Under big skies, speeding cars in the nightlife. We make our plans in the sunlight. Always live for the We come alive when we're dreaming. Tonight the world's got us screaming. We're in love, we're in love. We're never gonna let go. The London lights always find us. Beating hearts never silent. We're in love, we're in love. We're never gonna let go.
Anything more? Am I okay? Right, fantastic. That was London Lights by the band Strangers there on Unseen Radio's Review Corner. Hello, thanks for joining us. My name's Bedge, and we have 4 guests in today to tell us what they think of that. First up, we'll start with Dhil from the band Citadel.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, good. Oh, I really like that. That was, good. had good kind of atmosphere and good energy. I thought the dynamic was good. You know, it wasn't like, you know, there was a lot going on there, but they still managed to get this kind of really good, you know, melody and hook in there. And there was just a good kind of flow of the song, like it took your places, and I really enjoyed that.
Good concise review. We'll get you on more often. Got Conor and Ben from DCX Promotions also play in Annie's Room, the band. How are the two of you?
We're all right, thank you. How's yourself?
I'm fantastic, thanks. All the more better for having 4 guests on the show, which is, you know, a brilliant surprise. We'll go over it anyway. Strangers, London Nights. What did you think?
It sounds like a kind of hybrid between MGMT kind of sound, that kind of like AWOL Nation sound, with what seemed to be like a kind of like late 90s garage kind of vibe towards the end there, the second half of the track. It's a good thing and a bad thing, because, you know, it keeps it different. It mixes it up. I mean, no artist wants to be the same as everyone else out there. Well,
Some artists might want to.
Well, there's some, but they're called tribute bands.
Yeah.
I'm sure this esteemed gentleman to my left doesn't want to sound like everyone else with his
I don't think anyone
project.
really kind of sets out to go, like you said, unless they're a tribute artist. But like, I think it's quite normal and quite your sort of influences kind of come through your music anyway. So you're always going to be compared to or sound like someone else. So I think it's a nice thing though.
Yeah.
It's just a thing to be kind of
It's
kind of
effectively
wear it on your sleeve a little bit. Yeah.
There's a difference between sounding like someone else and being a sort of blatant rip-off.
Sort of.
What I will say about it is, it sounds different, yet the good thing about it is, I mean, it follows, like I say, you know, you look at, like, you know, acts like AWOL Nation, other acts like that, Lord, did I say that right? Yeah. You know, and it's got that kind of vibe, which is very popular at the minute, yet it's, you know, moving in a, like I say, the way the track progresses, it moves in a different direction, which sets it apart from the current stuff that's out there, yet can, you know, would probably hold a lot of, you know, fan base from other artists of similar ilk.
I would say, my opinion, just it sounds like very sort of like, because obviously the intro, I generally got sort of like a Coldplay, like that, very piano sort of driven start and things like that, and then like as it evolved, I got more sort of like say bands that now say Bastille, things like that like they have like this sort of, I'd almost call it sort of like the way they delivered the song. It was almost like, to me, it was like an 80s sort of revival. It was like there's sort of like some sort of like hints towards it and things like that. But then you've got like the more contemporary sort of sound and things like that.
Tiggs is our fourth and final guest from Natural High Media.
Yeah, no, I liked it. It was good. It's just it put me in mind of Imagine Dragons and that kind of scene. You know, it was the very melodic, almost a cappella lyrics with the kind of bass behind it. I mean, it was a nice sound, but it didn't really go anywhere for me. It's not really my scene. It's not aimed towards me, really. But it was good. It's just, if they'd, I don't know, taken it up, changed the key, put in a drop, anything, just made it change somewhere. I mean, I know it flipped halfway through, but it just...
If I'm going to be completely honest, it tried too hard.
Yeah.
Especially, like I say, with the drastic change in style and, you know, these samples and effects used in it, it was just... you know, although it was a mellow track, it was a bit overkill.
Yeah.
It sounded very commercial. Sounded like
Stick to
advert
that
music to me. Like the kind of thing you'd have behind pictures of people in taxis and at parties and stuff. Happy, healthy people that you instantly hate. That kind of advert we are. Oh.
Yeah, an advert for London.
Yeah, that kind of thing, yeah. Which I suppose the song is, really.
I think though, to give them credit though, I mean, like it's quite a current kind of sound they've got, but I think they're taking a bit of a twist on it. I think, you know, we didn't come here to just hear what we've already heard, sort of thing.
No, it was good.
So I think they're kind of pushing, maybe trying something different with it. Obviously, it's not to all your taste, but I thought.
Well, I'll be keeping an eye out for them.
I mean, like I say, building on what you just said, I think, you know, it's great that they're trying to be different, but I think the two sounds that they tried to put in there just didn't go.
Well, that experimentation, we don't get progress, so, you know.
Certainly. But no, overall, very positive reviews here on the Review Corner. That was Strangers. It was called London Lights. They've done a free download every month up until Christmas. That was their November ones. There's only one left. We've been doing them pretty much since the middle of the year. We've been playing them loads on this show, always getting really positive responses. Now, we've heard that you all can compare to everything from Lord to Bastille to advert music. So you clearly are up and coming with your music. So I thought I would put you through your paces with a little quiz about songs about London. So all you have to do is I'm going to read out. The first one is, which song starts "Dirty old river, must you keep rolling"? Don't all rush at once. Song about London.
It's Waterloo Sunset.
It is indeed by the Kings.
Yeah, good. That's fine.
Because London is drowning and I live by the river.
And Clash London.
Yeah, we all knew that one.
Straight.
Done.
West End town in a dead end world.
Pet Shop Boys.
You got go on, sing the next line.
West End Girls? Is it?
Yeah.
East End boys, West End girls.
East End Boys, West End Girls, yeah. Do I lose a point?
I love London town. It's a hard
you?
one.
But do you?
Who does?
Have you been there?
It's by Hubert Gregg. Maybe it's because I'm a Londoner.
Oh God, that thing. Yeah. Christ.
Yeah, maybe it's better that you didn't get that one.
Yeah.
Sun is in the sky, oh why would I want to be anywhere else? Lily Allen.
LDN.
Yeah, that's.
I'll show you something to make you change your mind.
Streets of London by Ralph McTell.
Exactly. And last but by no means least, round my hometown, memories are fresh.
I wish I was with my wife because she has some lovely breasts. Like.
Yes, lads. With Adele, Hometown Glory.
Oh, right. Bit off.
Just a little bit. But no, I think you all did very well. So a big round of applause to yourself. We're going on to the second track today. It's by Borelia Mass. They've got new material coming soon, and this is called Revolution. Goes something like this. time to revolutionise. That was Borelia Mass here on the Unseen Radio Review Corner with me, your host, Bedge. That was their song, Revolution. Got 4 guests in today to tell us what they think about that. Tiggs, you seem to quite enjoy that.
Well, yeah, I could see a lot of talent there, and I could clearly see their influences, like Metallica, Korn, Slay. You could tell what they were going for. They had a good sound, but first thing that could really improve it: get a proper vocalist, because I don't get the obsession with the whole screaming thing at the moment. It seems to be everywhere in the rock scene. Because, I like Slipknot, I like Korn, but the fact is they utilise it. And the guys that do the screaming key and in tune, and it works and it adds to it. Whereas it seems like a lot of bands just seem, if you can make that noise, that kind of, whoa, you can do whatever you want with the song. And it's a bit like, no, you got to work within the song. I mean, getting a proper vocalist who can actually sing would really help. And just using the screaming here and there would, it'd add to it rather than take over the song. Because musically, the guys in the band are obviously extremely talented. That's the other point. Is a bit of limitation would have been good. There was a bit too much going on for me in the instruments. The drummer was going nuts, the bassist was going all over the place. And if you're gonna have really complicated guitar, really complicated drums, you want a simple bass line just to give it some cohesion. If you're gonna have really complicated bass guitar, you want simple drums. You need to keep something, give it some grounding. Where it just seemed like it was 3 guys in a garage just going nuts on the instruments for however bloody long that song was, because Jesus. But no, it was a really good sound, really apocalyptic, very cool, very very with the moment at the moment in the alternative scene. But a bit of cohesion, a bit of musical management, and a vocalist would really help them along, I think. And more stuff like that I'd really be interested in, I'd really listen to. But I mean, it'd be great live.
Sure it would be. It's all what this show's about. Real opinions. Honestly saying what they think about music. There's not enough of that on the radio. People are too nice. We don't like that on this show. Conor and Ben, I'm treating you as one entity.
Well, I'd say, for me, it was a bit like someone running a 400-metre race, sprinting for 10 metres and then jogging the rest, because I think the solo was great. The solo was great, and then it just went into lazy, generic heavy metal. I mean, like you say, the musicianship was good, but I think, at the start of the song, the bass was great, but then it just kind of petered off into generic metal bass, which seems to be like, I mean, when we're having band practices, we have a joke of all metalcore, and it's very, like you say, about things being very much of the scene at the minute, and that's everywhere you turn.
I can see why it's popular.
I mean, like I say, and even if you look onto the TV, I mean, the only bass players that really do anything different in the current, big metal scene is bass players like Fieldy. Yeah,
definitely.
And it's just like this laziness of bass players that, speaking as a bass player, that really bugs me.
Well, no, it was a good sound, but it was a bit too kind of, right, we're in this mode now, we're going to stay here. I mean, it started off and it sounded like, the old Nirvana tracks, like Rape Me or Lithium, with
I was thinking
cold bass
Temple
open.
of the Dog, Faith No More.
Yeah.
I was thinking, this is going to be good. And then I was like, this is going to be disappointing.
It seemed to stay at the wrong speed, because the really anthemic heavy metal tracks and really, that kind of deep metal vibe, the really ones that you really remember, Metallica, Slayer, stuff like that, it's got the really slow bits, so that the fast bits actually matter.
It's all in the breakdown.
I mean, you listen to One by Metallica, and it is just, it's like walking 100 miles for the start of it. You just listen to this guy drone on about how he's so lonely. It's like, oh, bloody hell, here we go. And that just goes nuts, and you're like, oh, this is brilliant. But that's like, it was good. It had that cold bass open. I was thinking, oh, this will be cool. It's like Come As You Are almost. And then it just went, I was like, okay, this is okay. Go somewhere with it, come on. Oh no, you're just gonna stay here and try and be Slipknot for a few minutes. Okay, that's fine as well.
I was kind of getting a lazy Lamb of God feel from them.
Yeah, almost.
Just, it seems that there's this trend among heavy metal. Now it's just like, if you can just play blast beats and double bass the whole song, and your bass players are playing the same note the whole song, and the guitarist is doing whatever he wants, then you're a credible heavy metal band. Like you say, with the screaming on top. I
think the bit that really stopped it from standing out was the screaming, because as popular as it is, and God knows why it is. I mean, that's a trend I can not get my head around. You listen to Freak on a Leash or Psychosocial, it works because it's the tune, it's what the rest of the song is based around, and it's pure anger, and it feels like the guy's actually doing something with it. He can't hold it in anymore. Well, it sounds like these guys talk like this permanently, like listening to fucking hogs or something speak. It's really weird. It's a weird effect for me, anyway.
Yeah, but as me personally, as a vocalist and things like that, it sounded like he was trying to do it, but he couldn't do it properly. I was listening to it quite a lot, towards the end of the song. He was really pushing for it, but he was like, I can't breathe.
He was choking,
I think it's really annoying, sort of thing.
like Ben's saying, it's like, because I sing some backing vocals and some lead as well, and I wouldn't say I screamed like that, but I push my vocals, and I think once you find that limit, you've got to stop.
Yeah, you've got
or
to
you will
work
sound
around
awful.
It, yeah. Well, those bits when he broke down into normal singing, it was torture. Because I've done a bit of singing in bands and stuff. I've done this bit here and there. It's just like, oh, don't push yourself like that, love, because it's not working. It's worse than the screaming.
It's kind of like, I have to do a clean bit now because this is like part of what we have to do. This will do. I'll just deliver it like this. And
I think they could get around that by using effects, like maybe going a bit heavy on the reverb, delay, echo, maybe even an obscure choice probably be a vocoder or something. It sound different,
Different. I think it has some really nice kind of set pieces in there. I think as a song, there was maybe too much going on. I think there was some really good sections which I really enjoyed. I mean, it kind of gets a bit of a bad rep, this sort of music, for being kind of like mindless noise and stuff like that. But they had some good, kind of quite well thought out bits, I thought. There was some really good sections I really liked. I liked the bit after the lo-fi kind of guitar bit, and then it was like sort of good push towards the end. But before it was a bit chop and change and didn't really flow well for me. But I liked it.
Yeah, fantastic. Mixed reviews there for Borelia Mass. They've got new material coming soon, as I've said. Let's get on to our third and final track of the night. I really like this, but then it's not up to I think. It's up to the people. I'm impartial, even though I've just given my opinion. So that kind of gives it out. It's by a band called Silver Arm. It's produced by guys produced for Palmer Violence and the likes. So, on to big things. I've had a lot of critical response. And this song is called Steady Like a Vein.
Say
Silver Arm, they've got an album coming soon next year on Big T Recordings. Not that next year is really that far off. You know, it's amazing how far it's run. So much good music. But is that part of it? We've got 4 guests in today on the Unseen Radio Review Corner. We've got Tiggs from Natural High, we've got Dhil from Citadel, and we've got Conor and Ben from DCX Promotions and from Annie's Room.
In my opinion, I thought that was pretty good. It's the most solid track of the night so far. It's just proof that, you know, solid simple drum beat, solid rolling bass line, and guitar licks over the top is like a format, good format for music to go from. The vocals, I feel there's too much effects on the vocals, but I did find it very, early noughties revival. You know, like the Killers, Black Rebel Motorcycle Club, and all those bands, around that time when it became cool to wear skinny fit jeans and all that kind of stuff. And
has it stopped?
I don't know, it hasn't stopped. It's perpetual. They just seem to be getting tighter and tighter.
That's all my lot.
Like I could imagine walking into a pub, and that hearing a band playing that, and it being quite a good environment. It seems like it transmute quite well. Whereas, some like say the first band of the night, I couldn't imagine, that kind of sound live. No. Whereas that hit me instantly. Definitely a very solid piece of music. It was great.
Fantastic. Well, yeah, they are from Northampton. I think a couple of them used to be in various other bands, including one was used to play for Maps.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah. Remember them? So they've all done big stuff. But I think they're based in London now, majority, which is good. It's the place to be.
Yeah.
It's a shame that everyone's in London.
Should be saying Northampton should be.
Yeah, Northampton
is the place to be.
You've got Citadel and Annie's Room and everything. Why wouldn't you want to come in? Speaking of Citadel, Dhil.
Yeah, no, it's straight off the bat that was like, I like that. It was sort of like you were saying, there's no messing about. It's all, very kind of raw and honest sort of sound. There was no kind of real mad overproduction or anything like that. Really reminded me of, I'm a big kind of Queens of Stonehenge fan, and it sort of gave me that, even the vocalist had that sort of twang to his voice and the sort of way they approached their sort of sound, sort of kind of gritty sort of vocals and guitar like that. Yeah, no, I thought it was a cool, pretty cool track. Yeah,
absolutely. Ben.
I don't know. I feel like an arsehole now because it's just that. For me, it was like really sort of. How to describe it? Sort of like half-assed. I don't know how to put it for that sound like really egotistical, but like it's just like. For me, like the guitar riffs like that just really don't do anything for me. So I'm just like, I just imagine me going like, oh, that note sounds nice. I'm just going to play it like 16 times, then move it up a little bit, and then move it back down and move back up. It's just like for me, it was just kind of like, yeah, this is all right, but it's like I was really chewing over it like quite a lot. So I was like, do I like this? It's just a bit like, yeah. For me, it was okay. Like I could listen to it, but it just
maybe
didn't really.
More listens.
Yeah, maybe it was just for me, it just didn't stand out to me personally, sort of thing. But.
In Tiggs, I think you agree. Do you know?
Well, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, I wouldn't complain if someone put it on. It's a decent track. Bass was maybe a bit too overriding the rest of the song. Really, it was a decent track. It was well written, but it's just. At the scene at the moment, you've just got everyone is doing stuff like it. I've heard so much stuff like it recently. It was hard to really get into it. I mean, you could walk into nearly any club in Camden, Manchester, Liverpool, or Northampton, and you'd hear a band doing the exact same song. Well, maybe call it "Steady Like an Artery" or something. It's just it's so. It's like the metal band we had in the middle. It's so of the moment that it's made no impression. It's just another grain of sand on a beach, really, for me. That's just. I don't know if that's the same for you. It seems like I've heard it everywhere. So
my argument is from working in the promotions industry, it's like that's the kind of band that I would book because they would keep the larger demographic happy.
Yeah.
So from a commercial point of view, like say, of all the songs tonight, from a commercial point of view. I think they're the strongest.
Oh no, I'm like I said, there's nothing wrong with the track. It's a perfectly decent track, and it's well written, well performed, everything. I do like it, But it's just, I wouldn't put it on my iPod or listen to it when I'm at home or walking down the street. If I walked into a club and it was playing, I'd go, yeah, it's pretty good, and have a dance. But
I mean, I compare.
I'd book them for a show. If I was putting on a show, I'd book them. But
it's like I do completely agree with yours and Ben's opinion on it. I mean, I think the guitar's very simplistic, but it's like it's easy to take in. Whereas like you say, Metallica 1, it's a great track. It's an amazing track, but it's not. It'd be it's like I say, there's more. Like you say, go to someone in the street, do you know Hound Dog by Elvis, or do you know Metallica by One? Most people say, yeah, I know Hound Dog by Elvis. It was, 2 chords, isn't it? Back and forward. It's so simple, it's unreal. But it's because it's easy to process. So, like, say, from a marketable point of view, that's, it's a better thought out track.
Well, I think we're coming at the song from 2 very different angles. You're looking at it as the kind of, how would it appeal to a wide demographic, and how would it appeal to the most amount of people, largest target audience, which is a perfectly sound way of looking at it. I'm more looking at it on the personal standpoint, is how's it going to make an impression artistically and culturally to people, I mean, it could sell 1 million records, it's a good track and it deserves all the success it gets, but if it's safe and normal and of the time and just like everyone else, it's not going to progress us any further, for me it's too safe. Not risky enough.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are a lot of bands out there that are never going to make it because they're too risky, like we were talking about Blasphemy earlier. I mean, they're really good fun live, but you wouldn't book them for a show, really, because they're a bit too nuts. But for me, they were a bit too safe, which is why they appealed to your standpoint of the commercial basis, is they were safe and they were a good band, but they were just a bit too... I could see what was coming all the time.
I think they would, like I say, it is, like you say, music hasn't really progressed in like 10, 15 years.
Yeah, we did stop, yeah.
And,
well, Christian was dubstep, and then that kind of like, oh, whoops, we fucked up, go back.
Yeah, and I mean, like I say, I think, they would have, that track would be current within any, any period of time in the past 10 years or so.
Yeah.
But, like I say, I think, if my criticism of it would be, like I say, it's the guitar.
Yeah.
Because, like I say, you got that solid foundation there, and I think maybe even if they had like a second guitarist,
or just turned it up a bit.
Yeah, trying something different,
Just because the guitar,
some back and forth would be interesting.
You can listen to that track, a couple of years back or 20 years back, and it's quite a timeless sort of sound they've gone for. And I know we're kind of judging them on the one song that they've done today, but I will be interested to see what their other songs sound like, because not to say it will be sort of like a one-trick sort of pony with that one particular sound, and I'd be interested to see, because as a song it works like that, but if it's all like that, I'd like to hear something a little bit different with it.
Exactly, fantastic. Well, that's a brilliant discussion. Tiggs, do you have anything more to say? You sound like you...
I think I figured out my only qualm, because I do like it. I will check them out when I get home. It's not that I'm saying don't listen to it. It's just, I think my qualm is I've heard too many songs like it on Misfit, Skins, In-Betweeners, all that stuff we're watching. I mean, it sounded like every track on the In-Betweener soundtrack, Misfit soundtrack, those kind of... I mean, they're good shows with good soundtracks, but once you've watched 3 series of it, you kind of get sick of the music. They're good songs, but like I said, I could only listen to it walking down the street or something, or when I'm doing something else. I couldn't sit there and listen like I could with other tracks, maybe.
Okay, thank you. Right, favourite tracks of the night, people. Dhil, we'll go to you first. We had Strangers with London Lights first, Borelia Mass and their song Revolution was second, and you just heard there Steady Like a Vein by Silver Arm.
I'm going to go with Strangers.
I'd say, this is a bit weird, but the intro to Borelia Mass and the last song, I know it sounds a bit strange, but because like I say, the intro was so good in the first one, the second one, but the rest of the song I didn't enjoy. But like I say, I did enjoy the third one the most.
Good intro,
Ben?
Well, for me, I think, probably Strangers, like most sort of solid song for me throughout, rather than just,
Okay, and Tiggs?
I'm going to go with Steady Like a Vein by, what were they called?
Silver Arm.
Silver Arm, yeah. It's the one that I can see the most potential for. If maybe guy who writes the music has an overdose or breaks up the song or something, we'll get some more interest in music. But no, definitely got talent. I'd like to see them get a bit more fucked up, I suppose. Really, just be a bit weirder.
They're going places. So I think that means Stranger wins. You kind of gave them a 3/4. I think we'll make the Strangers have won tonight by a whisper, a little bit more. So I'd like to thank my 4 guests coming in today. You've had Dhil from Citadel. Thank you for coming. Citadel they're trying to fund for their.
We've actually reached our target. Yeah, we just.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we kind of.
So it's all going on, no booze and parties.
Well, yeah, we did our last gig about a week ago, and we finished because we did our tour like this year in London, back and forth, and doing Northampton and stuff like that. So we did our last gig, like I said, last week I think it was, and to coincide that we're raising money, a WeFund project to do some recording in January. So we're kind of using the last 2 months of this year to kind of propel ourselves into 2014, get back in the studio and get writing and recording.
And when can we expect that? Do you have any idea?
Or is that too far in the future? Yeah, with the intention to record in January, so early next year.
Fantastic. I shall keep my eyes peeled and my ears open. DCX Promotions, what have you guys... Well, thanks for coming on the show first. What have you guys got? Cool. You have a gig in,
Annie's Room has a gig on the 5th of December. We're playing with a band from Market Harbour called Red Orange at the Market Inn. That should be a good one. It's our last show of the year before we take a couple of months off to do some writing.
Yeah. And that's on the 5th
of December at the Market Inn Kettering. Free entry.
Oh, fantastic.
And DCX Promotions puts gigs on all year round, and we regularly do gigs in a few venues in Kettering. Check us out on Facebook to keep up to date with what's going on in Kettering.
And finally, Tiggs, thank you for coming.
Yeah, no problem.
You've got Natural High.
Yeah, it's just a little media company, do photos, videos. We're currently doing a collaboration with Pictured Visions, which is a Leicester-based filmmakers thing. I'm actually playing one of the parts in the latest picture, vigilante style. It's just stuff like that, promoting local artists, getting stuff done, putting on shows, stuff like that. So, yeah.
Thanks for coming. This has been the Review Corner. I've been Bedge. Join us on Unseen Radio next week. Check us out everything that we've got going on Unseen Radio, because this thing is going to take off, or at least I hope so. This has been the Review Corner. Over and out.